Right, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. This time we've got a preview for the Spurs Man City game that is happening this weekend, and I've been joined by Buvey. Welcome to the channel.
Right,
it's the first time I'm appearing here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm very good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm very good, yeah, very good, yeah.
Looking forward to this weekend?
100% after smashing West Ham, another London team.
Yeah, it's a great
Obviously
start.
our first game back at the Etihad after winning the quadruple, so yeah, I'm gassed, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting one. Now, I mean, I was happy to see you guys spank West Ham. It was amazing just to see the table, bottom two, Chelsea, West Ham. I think that's like every Spurs and Arsenal fan's dream to start off the Premier League. So you did well then. I'll give you credit for that. But yeah, what we're going to do, a little rundown. Buvey's going to go through what he thinks the Man City lineup's going to be. I'm going to do Spurs over on his channel, so link's obviously going to be in the description. Check the video out, check out his channel. So yeah, we'll give you our Man City side, and then we'll just get talking a bit about Spurs and Man City. So
yeah, I think the interesting thing from a Man City fan is that Guardiola has mixed it up against Spurs in the past. He highly respects Pochettino. He does with Klopp as well. I think they're the only two teams in England that Guardiola will actually really change his philosophy for, except for injuries.
Yep.
In a tactical way, will be Pochettino and Klopp's side. So it's very easy to say, oh, I think this lineup will be this and this and this, but I think it could actually change. It wouldn't surprise me if you go to a back five.
Okay.
Or three and then a five midfield. However you look at it. So it could end up being like that. But obviously, I'll run through what I prefer in my Man City side. So obviously, Ederson in goal, no question.
No question.
Great performance against West Ham. Two amazing saves. I don't know if you saw those. Two
yeah,
saves.
no, I did.
Incredible. Despite the ugly goalkeeper kit that he has to wear this season, he has to endure that. Obviously, at right back, Kyle Walker. I think he's been exceptional this season already. I mean, obviously only 2 games in, but against two big teams, he's played exceptional football. And then centre halves, there has to be John Stones and Laporte. I think those two combined, they're going to get on the ball, they're going to push you guys back really far into your own half. With obviously Stones coming up with the ball, it's going to be scary for you guys in terms of how much possession we have. I think at the Etihad. And then left back, it's going to be Zinchenko. So no Mendy still. I know he played against you guys last season. Obviously in the only few games he did play. And then in midfield, I think Rodri will still play this game. Okay. I think Fernandinho's getting close to fitness. Or match sharpness at least, and then David Silva and De Bruyne ahead of him, which is a dream come true.
Quite a bit scary.
It is, isn't it?
Listening to all the players now.
I think look at what De Bruyne did against Spurs in the Champions League, right? He was exceptional. Obviously, unlucky to get a little bit of a knock after that and stuff like that. So that was tough to see as a City fan. I think maybe if he was a little bit more match sharp at the time, we might have had the extra impetus to beat you in the Champions League. Maybe.
Fortunately for us, it didn't quite go that way.
And then up front, I'd like to see Bernardo come in. I think Mahrez had a great game.
That was quite a shock to I think almost every fan that Bernardo Silva was left out of the starting 11 in that first game, because I thought he had such an incredible season last year, and he's definitely one of my favourite players in the Premier League. That's obviously not at Spurs.
100%.
So I was shocked to see him there. So to be honest, I would not be surprised if he's in the.
I think it's a rotational thing. I think it's so early in the season. I think he's just trying to give minutes to Mahrez, because Mahrez is now so important now that Sané's injured. Yeah. So I think it makes sense that Mahrez, sort of came into the start of that game against West Ham, and then you can't not play Sterling, and then Aguero's getting back to fitness. Do you play Aguero here? I'd like to see Jesus. Okay. So I think it's so early in the season where, let's say Man City did lose to Spurs this weekend. I don't think it will happen, but then Spurs can lose next week and we can win it. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, it's not April or March or anything like that. So I think I'd like to see Jesus given a run in against a big side and see if he can score. Because I think his movement and his pace off the ball is really important. And I think as Aguero gets a little bit older, you're going to have to see him phased out, but David Silva has been with the likes of.
He's been with you for years now. So at some point he will eventually have to.
Yeah, it's scary when he does.
Move
do you know
on.
what I mean? But you might just want to play Aguero just to make your best players. You might have to just play your best players.
Confidence of
but why not play Jesus? So yeah,
that's what we did for West Ham, right? He started with Jesus and then brought Aguero on.
Yeah, and he also scored that pen. So
of course.
It's scary that Aguero's coming off the bench and Bernardo's coming off the bench, and also Mendy and Phil Foden and Gundogan. I mean, it's crazy.
I've said this for the whole of last year as well, and as much as obviously it was between Man City and Liverpool for the whole league. When I look at the two separate squads, I always thought Man City had the best squad in the league by a mile. Yeah. Because if you looked at Liverpool's bench, there wasn't that many players that you weren't terrified with a lot of them coming on. If Oxlade-Chamberlain was fit, or
I don't think
they weren't
marginal players.
Yeah, they're not. They may be good players and great for the team, but they're not frightening. Whereas like you said, if you had you've got Bernardo Silva coming off the bench, Mahrez, Sane when he was fit, and then like Aguero was your backup striker. And I was like, wait, hold on a second, because that's the thing that I think we've struggled with a lot. Is like we've never really had a great squad.
Yeah,
we've had a very, very good first 11.
Yeah,
but then we looked at our bench and we're like, okay, great, our only attacking player is Lamella.
And you've added to it. I mean, the thing is, I know you've signed Ndombele in terms of, but he's not a squad player. He's literally a like for like for Dembele.
Yeah, exactly.
Before, right? So you've actually improved your starting 11, where a lot of pundits said Spurs, you know, who does Spurs actually sign? Because obviously a lot of Spurs fans complaining that they didn't sign enough players, but then pundits are like, well, where can you improve? And it's like, well, obviously you can't improve Harry Kane, you can't really improve Son for the money unless you spend 150 million on a Griezmann, which obviously isn't going to happen, right? But Ndombele is actually an improvement.
I think for me he was like the perfect replacement for Dembele, because I'm really struggling to think of other players in Europe or the world that kind of fit what Dembele was and isn't going to cost us like, I don't know, 200 million.
Yeah, he cost you 50 mil, right?
Yeah, I mean, 50 mil, which is for the player he is, and considering he was like top scoring midfielder in League One. Obviously you've got to take everything with League One with a pinch of salt, but
and he did really well against Man City in the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a little bit scary.
He impressed me a lot. That's why. So I'm so like, that's probably one of the signing of the seasons for me so far. Obviously we have to see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, just going back to like your team and stuff, like what always like baffles me with Man City, and like, I think it happens with like everyone with their fantasy league as well, is like, what player do you choose?
But that's the thing.
Because even when you think of like people that are almost guaranteed to play, like Walker or even Laporte, just every now and again he'll go for, like last year, Otamendi and company, and you're like, wait, hold on a second.
It's great. The only person is Ederson, and for me Laporte is 99%.
Yeah, I think Laporte now definitely,
and Ederson, and those two, and then maybe Sterling. I think almost Sterling gets in ahead of Sane, Mahrez. He starts ahead of Aguero and Jesus in terms of guaranteed starters.
Yeah.
It's scary. I mean, that's how good the guys, become.
No, of course. I think for now as well, I think Zinchenko is pretty much a guaranteed starter, just given the injuries that you have.
Yeah, I think Angelino, he's come from I don't want to say a soft league, but it's the Eredivisie. It's not a top league. So Angelino performed really well, only cost 7 million, so he's a bit of a fly, a bit of a gamble signing. But as a third choice, he might end up becoming second choice left back for the rest of the season if Mendy keeps having injury problems, which is sad to say. Obviously, if Mendy does come back, that's even scarier for the league. Right? So it's a win-win for us. So we've got that backup. But yeah, I mean, the big thing for me against Spurs is about keeping the ball. I think you counter-attack a little bit less effectively than Liverpool, so I think City are a little bit less scared of losing the ball to Spurs. I think you've got pace, but I think you haven't got raw pace up front.
No, it's only really Lucas Moura that has the pace, like the proper raw pace in our side, and even then, it's never really utilised in that way. We're not very much like what Leicester City were when they won the league. That was proper pure counter-attacking football with Vardy and Mahrez. That's not really how we roll. I think Pochettino loves just working through the whole whole of the pitch, and then basically end up giving it to Kane or Son. And
I think you're a bit more developed, right? I think you're like a Guardiola light. I mean, you're obviously not as good as Guardiola's for size, but but yeah, the big thing for me is about just keeping the ball. I think the big result for me last season, one of the most important results, is yes, we lost you in the Champions League, obviously, right? But as devastating as that was, but even 3 days later, it's the same team.
Yeah.
And even the small things I noticed, you're in the same kit. I mean, it could have been easy for the Man City players to remember what happened on Wednesday night, and then on the Saturday, it was a Saturday early kickoff.
Yeah, it was Saturday,
which is ridiculous.
I was there for a week. I just chilled there for a week.
Just take a holiday in Manchester. But obviously Phil Foden's goal, quite early on as well, right? It was quite an early finish, and then we just kept a clean sheet. That was one of the most important results maybe in Guardiola's career, because that obviously won us the Premier League. And to keep a clean sheet for 80 minutes against Spurs is no mean feat at all, especially after we lost to 4-3 to Spurs before that.
Like the mentality behind, like, even though you won the game on the day, you obviously still lost the fixture. And I think that's obviously one of Man City's main targets now, is to win the Champions League.
I think so.
That's probably the most important thing at the moment, because you've won the league back to back.
Yeah, I'd take the league again over the Champions League.
Really?
Yeah, this season.
Third in a row, just a pure...
And go to close to an invincible season. And that, for me, I would prefer that, because I think you can get to the Champions League in a very fluky way. And a little bit... I don't want to say it, but...
So, I wonder where he's going to go with this.
But at the end of the day, Ajax were that close against the final.
Of course,
You nicked it with that Lucas goal, where it's not like you dominated Ajax for 60, 70 minutes and you won 3-0. It was fine margins where the ref could have blown up early, or VAR could have ruled it out like it did against us. And it's tiny margins that get you to a final, and then those tiny margins lost you the final, right? You know, the 20 seconds into the game.
Yeah, I think that's always the case with knockout competitions, obviously, because it's only across 2 games for the most part. Like, there's no real longevity when it comes to when you're playing that opponent. Like, you play them twice and you just got to win across those 2 games. Whereas a league, you have to keep that up the whole season. Especially like last year, where you had Liverpool literally breathing down your necks, and I mean how close it was. It was insane, man. So I think obviously winning like a league is much harder than, I'd say, winning.
I think it's much harder, but obviously the Champions League is something we haven't achieved and we have to achieve it. But if you look at Guardiola, the only time he's ever won the Champions League twice with Barcelona, that's the only time the Champions League's been won in the last 10 years where the side were so much better than the rest. And Barcelona outperformed every major team in Europe, and they got through every game. But some of the sides that have won it, even the Real Madrid sides, you know, they came back from losing to Atletico Madrid. You know, they got through Juve, sort of grinder result. Do you know what I mean? But Guardiola likes to win football matches in his own way, dominating the game. And we might have got through to the final if maybe Aguero scored that penalty at White Hart Lane.
There you go. The penalty that never should have been anyway, but you know.
That's a good point, fella.
But we'll just obviously talk about like, those Champions League games a little bit. That was obviously going to be like one of my highlights, I think, ever. The weirdest thing is that Man City away game was the best game I've ever been to and could never have been topped.
Oh, the atmosphere, you mean?
Just everything about it.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, we went to Ajax. And it just went another level. And I'm like, how does that...
I was really happy.
Go from being the best game ever to then the best game ever?
It was crazy. I mean,
almost one after the other.
You can't take away from the fact that, you know, the way you got right at us. I think most pundits say that you can get a Man City when you have 10 minutes of intensity. You aim at the centre backs, you split the centre back. You did that perfectly. It was the perfect game plan for a lot of the time. Obviously, you conceded a few too many goals to make it a little bit nervous for you guys. You know what I mean?
Spurs way, isn't it?
It's the Spurs way, 100%.
You can't do anything easily. It's not allowed to happen. So.
But I was happy for you guys. You know, especially Ajax. I mean, Ajax were punching way above their weight, and they outperformed against you in both legs probably. And you for them, get through
across the whole all the minutes. I'd say so. Yeah, I think pretty much it was like the last 20 to 30 minutes of the second leg was when we really got in gear and actually got those 3 goals. But but I can't even, like, those games were just create some ridiculous memories. I mean, just speaking about Ajax as well, you were saying there that it's very much like Monaco a few seasons ago when they were very, very much the underdogs. Had
they had momentum.
Team. Had the momentum all the way through, and I think again got to the semi-finals.
Lost to Juve, I think. But obviously in that running, they beat us, and it's exactly the same. So you're talking about the Champions League. I mean, something's got to give with Man City and Guardiola. That, you know, if we're playing against Spurs, who, let's be real, you know, you were gassed to be in the quarterfinals in the first place, so you're going to go guns blazing. I think we did it.
That tied our furthest we've ever been, because the first time we were in the Champions League, we got to the quarterfinals against Real Madrid and then got smoked. So
exactly, you were gassed to be there, bang like that. Exactly, man. And so Man City have got to find a way of nullifying these sides that are going to have momentum. There might be a Schalke or a Dortmund this season that have the same sort of momentum. We might need to play them in the quarters or the semis of the Champions League. That might happen for City, and we've got to learn from the mistakes against Tottenham and try and nullify the game and keep it boring almost. But so it's not easy for me to say it as a fan, obviously, but that's the way Guardiola likes to do it. Keep the ball, a 2-0 win, you know, Puritan football almost. So that's what I want to see against Spurs. I think we're talking about the game on the weekend. I mean, it's like, keep the ball, because I know Spurs can give 30 minutes of intensity that you don't see in the league in terms of keeping the ball, switching the play, and then Harry Kane scores a goal out of nowhere.
Well, that's pretty much exactly what happened with the Aston Villa game they just had on the weekend. For about 60 minutes or maybe like 55 minutes of the game, it wasn't even all Aston Villa. Like, we had possession and stuff, but it wasn't. It was slow pace. It wasn't any fast movements, and then that quick formation change, bring Eriksen on, and all of a sudden, left, right, and centre balls are coming through, having shots at like everywhere, and then Ndombele obviously gets his goal. And
it must be nice to know that. I think, you know, players like Aguero, Kane, there's only a few players in the world where the rest of the players can wait 20, 30, 40 minutes before they get into gear, and then you know there's a great chance they're going to score.
Oh, of course,
that's incredible to think about.
Very, very few players, I think, right now, especially strikers.
You can wait to the 70th minute, and as long as Poch keeps Kane on and Kane's fit, you've got a chance in every game.
No, of course.
It's scary how good he is.
You can literally get a goal from nothing.
I'd love Kane. I'd love Kane in City to replace Aguero. That's what I think will happen.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I think Aguero gets phased out next few years.
Well, when we win the league this year, he's going he's nowhere to go. He'll have nowhere to go. But yeah, so talk just very quickly then. But Kane, Aguero. Obviously, I think there's going to be a bias between both of us. But give your opinions on
what's the debate? What are we saying about legacy at the moment in their whole career, or right now in this one game? Who's the best player?
Right now, this is the one game. Are you sure?
Of course, man.
Are you sure?
Because Kane's goals, at the end of the day, we can play FIFA, us two, and it's just we're having a few beers, we play FIFA, nothing on the line. Now, let's say we're playing FIFA, and whoever loses has to give 100 quid. There's something on the line. Aguero's goals, which his actual goal ratio is still better than Harry Kane's, right? Minutes to goals and stuff like that. In the Premier League, I think it's better. Stat guys come out with that, but let us know.
I was going to say, I saw something a few days ago.
Maybe it's different, but
he's now matched Messi.
Oh, right. Oh, well, but Harry Kane's goals have contributed to precisely 0 trophies, right? I don't want to dig out, but it's different when Aguero's goals have contributed to 9 trophies in his career now?
The thing is, right, this is where I kind of stand on the trophy front, and this is obviously there's going to be total bias because we haven't won. We haven't won anything yet. But the way I look at it, what I don't really understand is how people can really relate to how amazing a player is because of the trophies they won. Because I mean, at the end of the day, realistically, it's the team that you're in. It could be the case that So it's obviously a complete extreme, but for argument's sake, Messi's the best player in the world. If you stick Messi now in a Millwall team, are you going to say he's not the best player in the world because he's not going to win anything with Millwall?
At his current level, going straight into that Millwall side, I still think he would be the best player. Now, a season in the Championship would obviously nullify that, and his standard would slightly drop because he's playing against dead teams like Sheffield Wednesday, right? But the difference is
because really, for me, realistically, it's well, obviously, like I said, we've got a great team, but there's obviously been results that we couldn't get because we can't just rely on Kane for everything. Whereas at least if you look at a Man City team or a squad,
but Harry Kane,
got a whole you've got so many more players that could always just step up and get the wins to then get you the.
Harry Kane's going to look back on his career and think, in those peak years where I was literally scoring 30 goals a season, which is unheard of really for an English striker since Alan Shearer.
Yeah, of course.
What have I gonna? If I'm a pundit on BBC in 2025 or 2030 or whenever he retires, he's gonna have that little sub card where there's a Danny Mills that says played 100 games for Man City, or an Andy Cole that says he won a Champions League in 1999. There's levels to it. So I think if Harry Kane, and this is not me digging because obviously it's a Spurs fan.
I know.
He needs to either, he needs to. Or Poch, it's not Kane, it's Poch who manages the team. They need to say, right, we're win the FA Cup this season.
No, that's what
it's going to keep all these players galvanised for an extra few years.
I think a lot of pretty much every Spurs fan, including myself, is at that point now where the next thing literally is a trophy. And I think, everyone was saying that last year, but for me that wasn't the case last year because the whole point of what Levy said to Poch initially when he came was, I think 6 years ago now. He was saying that we are building the stadium and we're building this training on this, that and the other.
You did it right.
We need those to get done before we can fully focus on everything else. And you've seen in all Poch's interviews and stuff, he was like, I want to win the Champions League and the Premier League. He doesn't care about the League Cup and FA Cup. And I think for fans it's a bit
the FA Cup's just below those two and the League Cup's just below that. I think the
FA Cup definitely. So League Cup, obviously as good as it is to get a trophy, I'm still it's the league. I'm not impressed by it whatsoever. So I think FA Cup I'll be very happy with. And it will get us
nice it's the end of the season.
And it will get us into the mentality of winning the trophy.
Absolutely.
And obviously, Champions League was the chance to get the trophy.
That would have
but
been stunning.
It just slipped away from us. But I think now that we're in the stadium, we've actually built on the squad and we've got players like Lo Celso who I think might feature in the game. And just new players. I think this is the real we have to go for something this year.
100%.
Because there's nothing left.
So the game at the Etihad on the weekend, that for you is actually I think it's arguably more important for you than it is for us.
Definitely, because I think with you guys, obviously, like you said, it's early on in the season. You can almost, in a way, afford to slip up now, and then just keep consistent for the rest of the year to keep going. Whereas for us, we've got almost like a proper point to prove.
100%.
We are gunning for it this year. We need the results, and what better way to do it against the champion, back to back, champions of the league. So I think this weekend is very important for us. But
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a proper struggle. I think it's going to be a great game. Score.
Come on.
I would love to say something like 2-2.
2-2, okay.
2-2, I think, is respect.
I'm going 3-0.
I can't go for a Spurs. As much as I'd love to, logically, I cannot go for a Spurs win.
But there are examples where you can get a Guardiola side. Obviously, the Champions League game, the 2-2 in Pep's first season against Spurs when you came back from 2-0 down. There are examples where it's not out of the question.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but I think the main issue, like in the past couple of seasons, I'd say that playing you away has been very tough.
Yeah,
like even though we beat you in across the 2 legs in the Champions League, we still lost to you away.
Yeah,
and then lost to you away again that weekend.
Yeah.
So I think playing at the A has been a bit of a struggle. And again, like you said, it was 2-2. Like we didn't even. It was great coming back, but we didn't even win that game.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even remember the last time we won.
It might have been Crouchy.
Yeah, it's got a few years ago. Oh god, that was years ago.
I think so. But yeah,
it's been a while, so I think it's going to be a big struggle. But it's definitely possible, especially this early on.
100%.
But
I think you can get it.
We've got a lot of injuries that we need to kind of hopefully improve on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you think? You said 3-0, right?
I'm going 3-0.
What do you think scoring?
I think Kevin De Bruyne, Sterling, those kind of players are just going to get on the ball. They're going to push you back so deep. You're not going to get. I don't think you'll get much of the ball. The only thing is, could Harry Kane nick a goal? I think he could, but I've never seen Harry Kane perform against Man City.
Honestly. Then again, you've also got to remember that he wasn't there for the second leg.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
He got injured in the first one. So,
but the last few seasons, I've never seen him show up at the Etihad and think, "Wow, this guy's a world class player." And I see it against. I see it against other teams, but I never see it against City.
It'll be actually, now that he's back fully fit, it'll be interesting to see if he can.
Yeah, he's sharp. He's looking sharp. Of course, I finished against Villa, right, on his left foot.
Oh yeah, just finish it like beautifully. It's like a goal.
Stunning goal.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's an unbelievable striker, but it'll be very, very interesting to see if we can actually get through that defence of yours. Especially with Kyle Walker there, if he's going to
no chance.
Well, I think that's pretty much it. Wraps it up for this little preview of the Spurs Man City game this weekend in the Etihad. Thank you for coming on the channel. Like I said, guys, links in the description below if you want to check out. And obviously, we're going to be doing a video over on his channel, so if you want to see that, head on over there. But yeah, I think that's it from us, and we'll see what happens this weekend. See you later.